Is the slides up? Let's see. Perfect. Okay. So, hi everyone, and good morning. My name is Oluchi Adeboye, and I'm currently a final year medical student at the University of Aberdeen. I also have a previous first class honours degree in biomedical science, and today with me doing this presentation is Sarah Duru. She has a bachelor's in law. She also has a master's in intellectual property law, which she finished with a distinction, and she's currently undergoing a PhD in the critical analysis of patentability requirements, understanding PRIPS in relation to human genetic material. So today we're going to do a presentation for you about digital footprints, the facts for the godly. So, so I'm going to just move on to the next slide. So before we start the presentation, we're going to do a bit of an icebreaker. So I want you to introduce yourself to not from your location, and someone who you normally wouldn't have spoken to before. So if you get up from your seats and just say hi to one another, and yes, you can cross the language barrier, and girls can say hi to boys. That's how the world works sometimes. So, and then when you're finishing, hello. Oh my gosh. Sit down. Oh yeah, make some of yourself. Don't stand up and network. Yourselves.
Can you stand up?
Stand up, network.
Cross the gender barrier.
Cross the gender barrier. Better.
More like it.
Keep mixing.
Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. Thank you very much. You can now have your seat, and God bless you. You can now have your seat, and God bless you. Thank you. Some of us are yet to have our seats. God bless you. Thank you. Now to the...
Thank you everyone for taking part. So hopefully that helped you stay a bit more alert during our presentation. So throughout this presentation, we have some points to consider. So first we're going to look at the definition. What is a digital footprint? We're also going to look at the types of digital footprints, the types of online users, why this is even relevant and why you're listening to us in the first place, and the risks and the benefits of having a digital footprint. Also developing and managing your digital footprint. And we're going to do an activity, which this board will make more sense later. And we're going to look at the way forward. And then after that, if you have any questions or comments about our presentation, we'll take that after the presentation.
And so looking at the definition of digital footprint, a digital footprint is, in simple terms, your unique data online. So it's data or information about you that are online, and it is unique to each and every one of us. So we have got a code. These data could involve activities you do online, communications you have online, the transactions you do online. So it could be anything. It's just mostly your online presence. Is there anybody in this room, with a show of hands, is there anybody in this room who thinks they don't have a digital footprint? Anyone? As you can see, we all have digital footprints, and it varies. Some might have limited footprint, but it seems we all have digital footprints. There are two types of footprints. There's the active footprint and the passive footprint. The active footprints are data that you put online yourself, about yourself. And passive footprints are data that are collected about you or data that are put online by other people about you. Before we proceed, I'm just going to call out some social media platform. With a show of hand, just tell me if you're on any of these platforms, just with a show of hands. So Facebook in the room, LinkedIn. I expected more hands. Instagram, the young ones, yeah. Snapchat. That's what I'm talking about. TikTok. As we can see that the younger ones are on almost all the platforms I mentioned. So we do have a lot of digital footprint, or let's say a lot of data about ourselves out there. So for active footprints could be your social media post. It could be the likes you put on people's posts, like the comments on other people's posts, the emails you send, the messages you send, the internet forms, the autofills, the articles and blog posts you have. And passive footprints could be, the tracking of a website browser, the cookies, remember the cookies online, the tracking of your location, your device location, and when you store and remember passwords, those things can formulate your passive footprints. So there are many types of users, like online users, but I've just focused on these 4 types of users. While I'm going through it, just think about which category do you fall into. We have the confident creatives. These people are not worried about their online data. They're active online, but at the same time, they limit their personal information. And we have the concerned and careful. So they proactively take steps to limit their digital data. But we have the worried by the wayside. They are anxious about the volume of online information about themselves, but they don't take any proactive step to limit their digital presence. And then we have the unfazed and inactive. They are neither worried, nor do they take any active steps to limit their digital data. So just have a think which of these types of online users you might fall into: the confident creative, the concerned and careful, the worried by the wayside, or the unfazed and inactive, or should I say others, in case you don't fall into any of the 4 categories. You might wonder, why are we talking about digital footprints early this morning? Well, we live in a world whereby internet has become a big part of our life. It's become a part of our studies, a part of our work life, even sometimes part of our relationships with people, our shopping, our communication. So it's become a big part of our life, and we can all attest to that, especially following the COVID-19 pandemic, when the world became more digitalized. I'm just going to go through some statistics so you can see why it is relevant for us to look into our digital, or talk about our digital footprints. According to Statistica, as of April this year, 5 billion internet users worldwide. There were 5 billion internet users worldwide, which is 63% of the global population. And out of these 5 billion, 4.65 billion, or will I say 93%, were social media users. And as we can see, the majority of us in this room use one social media or the other. According to data pros, 86% of US citizens have attempted to somehow remove or decrease their digital footprint online, which means there are sometimes we make posts or we provide certain informations online, and a few years later, a week later, or even hours later, we're trying to get that off. So it's best to be careful from the beginning. According to Career Builder, 70% of employers say that they screen potential employees on social media, and that they find that it does impact their hiring decisions. According to Career Builder again, 51% of employees found content on social media of good candidates, and this has affected or impacted their decision. And I'm just going to read the quotes. Statistics show that Gen Z, Generation Z, most of us are part of it, is more reckless. We're talking about mostly the younger one. The more it goes, the younger we go, the reckless it becomes. It shows that this Generation Z is more reckless when it comes to their online activity. You think it's an innocent click, an innocent comment, an innocent joke, and most of them would express regrets later on in life about their past online posts. So I'm just going to give the platform over to Ollie to talk about the risk and benefit of having a digital footprint.
Okay, so I'm just going to talk about the risks and benefits. So as we know in life, most things come with a risk and a benefit, so you have to outweigh the pros and the cons. So some of the risks of a digital footprint is there's access to sensitive information, and there's also an unfair advantage of information shared. So you can be a target for like people who are scamming, or people, even kidnappings have happened due to having sensitive information out there, like people taking pictures of their house or what school their children go to. And there's also, if you're not careful, employers might not want to employ you because of what they've seen on your profile. And as it says, for your eyes only. So if you look at Psalm 44:21, at your own time. So just be careful what you send to others. Even if it's a once only image, just make sure it's something that you want out on the internet. And in terms of benefits, there are, you have the chance to network with people. So I personally have gotten job offers via LinkedIn. And also people who had long lost relatives, they've managed to find them on Ancestry.com, for example, or Facebook. And it also allows you, like, social media has allowed us to spread the gospel on a scale that wasn't available before. So there's loads of benefits as well. Okay, so how can you go about developing and managing your digital footprint? So you can look at privacy settings. So for example, if I'm posting something about an academic achievement or something about the gospel, I'll have it on public. If it's something a bit more intimate, then I'll set the privacy setting for that post to friends or friends and family. And completely remove traces of your digital footprint. That's very difficult. So once you put something out there, just think about it. Don't you can also come back to it and post later. You don't always have to post in the heat of the moment. And also just be careful in terms of your commenting on future employers or even previous employers. That's something employers take into account. And think before you act. So if you're going to post something, make sure it's true, make sure it's helpful, inspiring, necessary, and also kind. So now we're just going to move on to the activity. So this activity, we're going to give you 2 social media profiles, and you're going to be pretend to be hiring for the $1 trillion footprint company. So we'll show you the 2 profiles, and then you're going to base what you've seen whether you'd hire them, either candidate, or hire none of them. So this is the profile for Linda.
And so I'm just going to read her statement to the producer. You are the producers. So, hey there, my name is Linda. I'm 21, and I'm a big fan of $1 trillion footprints. I watch the show every week. I can't believe you kicked off Calvin, by the way. And my friends have been telling me for years that I should try to host because, you see, I'm the best. In addition to being the sweetest girl you'll ever meet, I'm a talented cook and passionate about cooking. You should check out my food blog. I think it is important for the TDF host to have a talent so they can keep the audience entertained in short and funny. I'm cute and down to earth. See picture? And I'm going to blow your socks off as the new TDF host. Can't wait to hear from ya. All the best, Linda.
And we should be able to see Linda's Facebook profile. Yep. So just have a look. Yep. And then we're going to move on now to Linda's Instagram page. So if you look at the comment, the likes, whether you think it's quite a busy, active page. Okay, so now we're going to read Jason's profile. So my name's Jason. I'm 23, born and raised in Boston, MA, best city ever. And I was made to be host of the $1 Trillion Footprint. As host, I love to show off my voice and inspire kids with talent of my own. When I'm not out in the town with my friends or with my wife, I'm singing with my band or at home, hanging out with my cat, Fur Monster. Beyond that, I spend a lot of time online watching YouTube videos and stalking people on my book. That's really rude. Just kidding. So in conclusion, pick me and I'm clearly the best choice. Sincerely, Jason Kramer. So now you're going to see Jason's Facebook. And just look for any discrepancies compared to what he said about himself and just how you feel about his Facebook page in general. And that's a post of Jason's profile on social media. Okay, so just take some time to discuss between yourselves and then just let us know. Yeah, I said 2.5 minutes. And then once you're ready, let us know who you would employ or not employ.
Yeah, you can just come and take care. Who you employ. If you're already decided, come and take it, don't worry. If you're not going to employ anyone, just no. Be quick. Who would you employ? Linda. Oh, right. Come on. Quick, quick, quick. Okay. Like do the rest. Come on, our sisters, what are you doing? If you're not going to employ anyone, you can tick none. Don't worry. Whoever you feel like employing, you are the producer. Be the producer for 1 minute. Be a producer for 1 minute. Thank you. Oh, Jason is getting the read. Here he is. You can pass the Thank you. Quick, quick. Wow. Okay. Okay. Any other person? Going? Gone.
Interesting. No one likes Linda.
Majority went for none.
I'm so sorry to put you on the spot. Can the person that take for Linda raise her hand up? Sorry. Can you tell us, like in a sentence, why you chose Linda? Don't worry, there's no wrong answer. That's all right. Can someone who
Okay, someone who employed Jason. Someone who employed Jason, tell me the reason for Jason. You guys are a law. Someone, just a quick, yeah. All right. The majority went for none. Who is the hash producer? The hash producer.
I didn't like Linda. And Jason. Yeah? Oh, silence.
Okay, guys, those that Timothy and the other sister, you have to come tell us why again. So you went for none because
I didn't like Linda and Jason. The stalker part, I didn't like that.
You didn't like both of them?
The stalker part from Jason, I didn't like that. But yeah, for me.
All right, that's it. Timothy, why?
I mean, I think Jason was quite, like I said, down to earth, and he was funny. So he did say he's joking anyway. So.
All right, thank you. A nice producer. Why Linda?
Because our Instagram page looked very interesting, and I would also use it as an excuse that I did not bring my glasses, so I couldn't see. So technically, yeah, exactly.
So as you can see, we all have different opinions about who we would employ, and that's the case for employers. So me personally, I've had this kind of talk with the NHS just to look at digital footprint, and my dad also, he has experience with Shell, and they definitely look at your social media when they're looking to employ you. So that's just an example of two major companies, how they will use your digital footprint. So it's important to be careful with your digital footprint and just make sure that it's working for you and not against you. So I'll just give Sarah over to Sarah to round up for us.
So the way forward. The way forward with your digital footprint is to, first of all, be intentional. Don't carelessly put your information out there. Be intentional. Make sure that what you put out there is something you intended to put out there or you wanted others to see. Be careful, because as 1 Timothy 6 verse 20b said, avoid profane and vain blabberings. Sorry about that. Be set apart, and note that you cannot be set apart if you're not intentional. Romans 12 verse 1 to 2, I'm just going to read the portion. Be not conformed to this world. Make sure you're set apart. Another thing is, let your footprint glorify God. Colossians 3 verse 17, whatsoever you do, do all in the name of God. Make sure that you post or the data about you or your digital footprint to glorify God. Also think, as Ollie rightly said earlier on, make sure that what you're putting out there is true, is helpful, inspiring, necessary, and kind. 1 Corinthians 10 verse 23 says, all things are lawful for me, but all things are not expedient. Just because you have freedom of speech, do not give an excuse to just be reckless of mind. Still be careful. Just because it's lawful does not mean it's necessary. Use privacy settings, as Ollie said. Google yourself today and see what you find about yourself. I think it's an interesting one. Also, remember that posting is permanent. While you can delete old profile and all that, it does not mean that the information are deleted. It just limits who sees them. So thank you very much, and we're happy to take questions and comments.
Okay, we have questions. Please come forward, please. Okay, don't worry, I'll bring it back for you.
Praise
the Lord.
Hallelujah.
My question is, who would you pick between Jason
and So personally, I would pick none of them, just because it might have been a bit small, but there was some discrepancies in the, for example, in Jason, he said he liked to go on walks with his wife, but on his Facebook profile, it said he was single. So there's just little minute discrepancies, and Linda, if you saw the comment, someone said that she had, that's a picture of a food they had ordered. Also, I find it quite strange. It's like I mentioned before, I did biomedical science. It's like me posting a picture of my graduation instead of showing my qualifications. Don't show me a picture of your food. Show me a certificate, show me a diploma, show me some qualifications about why you should be hired, not just a picture on social media. Thank you.
Just one last question, please. Do we have another question? Okay. Just the last question first.
My question is there any way we can decide the amount of information that is trustworthy?
Yes, and the way you decide is to first be intentional. So how do you decide if a post is trustworthy? Do you intend for others to see that? Do you intend for your future employers to see that? Do you intend for your friends, for strangers, and for the world to see that? If you are intentional about it, then it's trustworthy. And also remember the thing, make sure it's necessary. Because if it is lawful and unnecessary, it's not trustworthy. Thank you.
Please put your hands together more. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We really appreciate God for that they have provided us with. While we are preparing for a panel discussion, we're going to have a panel discussion just right away. And just to emphasize on the information they've given us, it is important to be careful on the information you put out online. Trust me, with the level of technology and my little experience within the tech space, whatever you put online is not going nowhere because there's a lot and enough storage to keep those information to the next 30, 40 years. So try not to put unnecessary information online. Try not to put unnecessary information online. Again, it's not just online again. The words that you speak when you are angry and you are to speak to someone, be careful because some words cannot be taken back. There's no way you can even take the word back. You might apologize. While we're preparing for the panelists to come out, please try and be very cautious of your words. It will save you a lot, trust me, because through time we grow, we learn as human beings, and we grow and we adapt. And you don't want to look back to the past 5 years of your life, and you're not proud of the words you've spoken out in public, or you've lost credibility, from your friends or persons who are older than you. So be very careful. Try as much to be very cautious, to maintain the words that you be very cautious of the words that you speak. Because if you look back, I don't want to guess anyone's age, but I can tell you that if I look back to the last 10 years of my life, I still can be very proud of the words I have online. That's if you find me online. So you have to be very careful because definitely we are growing as human beings. We will definitely get older. If Christ tarries, as the panelists are coming out, please. So be very cautious when you need to say something to someone or you feel somehow you want to express yourself. Get a friend that you can confide in. Get an elder that you can confide in. Someone who will understand and try to relate with you from that understanding. And and, pour out your heart. And this is the privilege we have with Christ. Trust me, there is no better friend to have like Jesus. Having the Holy Spirit is a great privilege because you can tell him exactly the way you feel. And the truth about it is, God even knows more of how you feel than you think you know how you feel. So have a good relationship with God. Get to know God. It is a time that